Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Eric Vaughn, the Family Cash Machine, cryptocurrency geniuses, and the team of people who are dedicated to teaching and training people about this new technology that's starting out. It's disrupting money. It is disrupting several industries simultaneously. So I know you guys have been watching me do these videos for quite a while now. This weekend was actually All-Star weekend here in Los Angeles. We had a lot of fun. And so I got my little sports gear on today. So I wanted to talk briefly about the mindset. The mindset, and I'm training people right now to understand cryptocurrencies, and they're noticing that, it's a total different paradigm shift in the way they think. And a lot of people, the first thing they want to know is when we get cryptocurrencies, when we get Bitcoins, let's say, for instance, I got 20,000 of Bitcoins and I want to turn it over to cash. And put it in my bank. And I say, why would you want to do that? Because over the last year, Bitcoin went from $900 to now $10,000. So why would you want to take 20,000 out of Bitcoin and put it in your bank? Last year, if you'd have had $9,000 in Bitcoin, that $9,000, or say you'd had, say last year you'd had, 9,000 worth of Bitcoin, it'll be about 90,000 right now. So why would you do that? You're not going to make that in a bank. The bank is not going to give you that kind of interest on your money. So that's not the question about, the first thing we want to know is how to get it back into this fiat currency. Well, what we're doing in this industry is learning how to maneuver and continue to purchase things with fiat, without fiat currencies. And sometimes you may need some cash, but I would not want to pull all of your capital out of Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies because it is what they call a stored unit of value. Now, I was doing some research over the last week and saw an interesting video from Jordan Belfort. And if you guys don't know who Jordan Belfort is, you definitely know who Warren Buffett is. But Jordan Belfort and Warren Buffett both made some comments about cryptocurrency that kind of made me realize that, it's a mindset. You got to remember who Jordan Belfort is. Now, I love the movie Wolf of Wall Street. And when I watched the movie Wolf of Wall Street, it actually encouraged me to go and read the Jordan Belfort story, in which I thought he had a great, very interesting, exciting life as a young man, making hundreds of millions of dollars. But how did he make his money? He made his money on Wall Street in a centralized system. He did go get his broker's license, but also he made most of his money on crappy penny stocks, and although I really like this guy because I think he has a tremendous ability to encourage people and motivate people and inspire people. And that aspect of Jordan Belfort, I really, really appreciate because I've watched a lot of his videos and, a lot of his motivational videos. And the guy has a tremendous amount of what I want to say, motivational spirit and knowledge. And so his capability and his ability to take average people and make them multimillionaires, to me, was the most incredible thing about Jordan Belfort. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. And I'm not trying to down him or anything. I'm just trying to make a point that even guys who've made hundreds of millions of dollars in the centralized system don't quite get it yet. They're still not there. It's a total different paradigm shift. Okay, you guys got to remember that we've been up underneath this same economic type of centralized monetary system for about 350 years now. So it's not going to just switch overnight. I remember back in '94 when people were talking about the internet and the different things that the internet is going to do and how it's going to change and affect people's lives. And it was kind of a dreamy type of thing. And a lot of people were telling stories about, it will change this and it's going to change that and it's going to change how we do this. And it actually has superseded even what we've imagined. It's actually beyond what the stories that we created. And it's pretty much an everyday facet of all of our lives. It's funny when you go out now, you watch people on the phones and everybody, everywhere you go, they're connected. And this is a whole total different mindset, ideology from where we were prior to 1994. And again, a lot of people started to tell stories about you know, where we would be. Oh man, you know, it's going to come a day when people are not going to be sending that much mail unless it's a bill. You're going to be able to make airline tickets and stuff and reservations, you know, on the internet. And now that sounds funny to listen about that. But I just wanted to share a video with you guys just briefly with Jordan Belfort and some of the things that he's saying about cryptocurrency, so you can visit and understand the mindset of average people and their difficulty in adopting and kind of like transitioning over to the digital mindset, the new mindset of digital information. And let's just listen to it right quick. Let me go and share my screen with you guys, and just so you guys can hear what we're talking about here, and you can understand exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to let this video play of Jordan Belfort for about 2 minutes, and you guys will be able to see what I'm talking about here. Let's go to Jordan Belfort. Okay, here we go.
Hey everybody, Jordan Belfort here.
I don't see any sound. Where's my sound? 1 second here. Okay.
Okay, so listen, I told you
Okay, there's no sound here. Oh, okay, there's no sound because I got this thing. Let me take this off. Sorry about that. Okay.
Give you Bitcoin maniacs, you know, a video, in-depth explanation of why I am telling everyone to sell. Now, again, I'm going to repeat, number one, I don't own any Bitcoin. I've never owned any Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. I almost, back many years ago, before you guys probably ever heard of this shit, I was going to mine it. I actually had an offer, and I researched, and I came very close to mining Bitcoin, so I know all about this stuff. I get this stupid emails from people or posts that you don't know shit about. I know all about the cryptocurrencies. I've done massive research back before you even knew about it, and even recently I've literally delved into this, okay? And I may be many things in life that aren't great, but I'm not stupid. I'm one thing, I'm a very quick study, and when it comes to things like this, I know what I'm talking about. Here's the deal. My thesis for my disdain of Bitcoin has been based around one central theme. Above all, that no matter how great it might be, and it's not that great, just so you know, but no matter how great it might be, all cryptocurrencies, the idea itself, it doesn't matter, because the governments of the world will not allow this to go on any longer. And you see this playing out right now every single day with announcement after announcement after announcement. There's China throwing up the firewall, India saying no more. And by the way, they didn't just say for illegal transactions. They said for illegal and everything else. They don't want this shit in their country. It destroys their control of the money supply. It cannot be allowed. You see a coordinated effort of every bank in the United States, every major bank. Lloyd's of London now. It's going to go to Europe next all over. The credit cards will no longer be allowed to use Bitcoin. You're seeing massive problems with these huge hacks on the exchange, which, by the way, I think is complete bullshit. I think a lot of these hacks are probably part of the inside job where they're covering up other fraud, just so you know. That's going to come out. You have Tether.
Okay, we're going to stop that right there. I noticed when he first started talking, he said he doesn't own any Bitcoins. He says, I don't own any of that crap. I don't have any of it. I mean, remember, Jordan Belfort, again, made a lot of money. He's a great guy. He's probably made, hold up, let me see. Yeah, you guys can hear me. He's probably made he's probably worth $100 million right now. But he's under the mindset that only the government can create value. Yes, only the government can create money, but Bitcoin is not money. Remember, it's not money. It is a commodity that is used for a exchange of value. Now, no government, no central bank can tell me that I cannot accept this phone for another guy's phone, or I cannot accept a piece of jewelry for another guy's piece of jewelry. Bitcoin is just an exchange of value. It is not a currency. Don't look at it as a currency. It has the capability of being used to, if somebody wants to exchange it for currency, then that's your choice because it has value. See, so this is where his mindset is kind of getting misconstrued. He's saying, well, oh, the banks are never going to approve it as a currency. Duh, it's not a currency. It is something like gold or silver or even an ancient antique car that can be exchanged as a unit of exchange for value. And this is where the mindset gets tripped up at. You know, now he did say that he was going to mine it before. Well, just because you were going to mine it doesn't mean you're an expert at it. I mean, every person who has made money, and this is what we gotta remember. People think just because he made 100 million, he knows everything. No, he doesn't. He knows everything about scamming people on Wall Street. Yeah, he may be a great manipulator, but that doesn't mean that he actually understands cryptocurrency. And just because he says, oh, I understand all about it, you obviously don't, because what you're saying doesn't make sense, because no one can tell me what I can exchange in an exchange with another person. No one can tell you that, okay? So although China, I didn't use China as an example. That's almost hilarious to me, because China is a communist country. That is not a good example for me. You know, that shouldn't be a good example for you, because remember, China banned Apple. China banned iPods. China banned MySpace. China banned Facebook. So in my mindset, anything China bans, I want to invest in. It's in my mindset, because everything that China has banned that is major technology, because they're communists and they want to control everything you hear, everything you see, and they want to formulate the opinions of people, and they don't have a freedom of thought, they don't have freedom there at the extent that we do here. So China has banned billion-dollar technological companies here, okay? So I think I want to invest in everything China, bans. That's one thing. The second thing here is, again, you're dealing with a mindset of centralization. This guy comes from Wall Street, okay? Wall Street is the entity that pretty much gives value to a lot of companies, okay? Well, one thing about the blockchain and cryptocurrency, it is the people that give value to the companies, not a company. The value is not manipulated by these companies. It's not created by these companies. It's actually created by the people. And in fact, value has always been created by the people, even for big companies. But the companies, being a centralized authority, can regulate, okay, that power as they deem, and the people have no say in it. Well, cryptocurrency a little different. The people all enjoying in the creation of the company, as well as the creation of the value of those companies. Now, I want to share something else with you right quick. I'm going to share one more video with you of Mr. Warren Buffett and what he has to say about
this looming disaster, which and their auditor has resigned.
And let's go ahead and listen to.
Generally, I can say almost with certainty that they will come to a bad ending. Now, when it happens or how or anything else, I don't know. But I know this: if I could buy long-term puts, if I could buy a 5-year put on every one of the cryptocurrencies, I'd be glad to do it, but I would never short a dime's worth.
Have you thought about trading the futures to take a negative position on Bitcoin?
No.
You would not do that?
No. There's no reason. I get into enough trouble with things I think I know something about. Why in the world should I take a long or short position in something I don't know anything about? So, we don't have to know what cocoa beans are going to do or cryptocurrencies. We just have to focus on 8 or 10 stocks, businesses basically, that we think are decent businesses. But I do think that I think what's going on definitely will come to a bad ending. I mean, you've got virtually everybody. I have a class. I have 11 schools coming on Friday. The questions will be on Bitcoin, and I won't know the answers.
Hold up, that's a mouthful right there. He just said that Bitcoin, he's going to a conference right now, and most of the questions will be on Bitcoin, and I don't have the answers. In other words, he knows nothing about this industry. But if I was always taught, if you didn't know anything about something, you kind of keep quiet about it until you learn it. But he went out to say it's going to end in a bad way. It's going to have a bad, disastrous ending. But at the end, he goes, but I don't know anything about it. I mean, this is a contradictory. You guys got to listen to people and what they say. Just because a guy has $87 billion doesn't mean he knows anything about this industry. He made his money the good old way, the good old boy way, or whatever you want to call it, in certain networks and clicks and being in certain loops of information. Okay, I'm not mad at him for having money, but I'm saying I don't like the fact that people will listen to him just because he has $87 billion. They will just assume he knows everything about every subject, and that's not true. Okay, now I want to share something with you. Just recently, they just had, first time ever in the history of the world, they had Forbes did a richest persons in cryptocurrency in the world. Now, this has never been covered in Forbes. Now, Forbes pretty much follows the money. Bottom line, they follow the list of, you know, wealthy people all around the world, and they try to disclose things where people don't want to disclose. Now, some of these people didn't want to be on there, but they're on there. And I noticed there's a couple people that are billionaires that are not on there. But I just want to share this with you guys right quick because I thought it was interesting that Forbes found it befitting to actually add that section this year. Now watch this. Let's just go and look at this. Let me share this with you guys right here. You got about 20 different people on here on this list right now. Now, what's interesting is Warren Buffett took 50 years or so to make $87 billion. Here's a guy named Chris Larson, 57 years old. And this guy here has a chest worth of $95 billion worth of Ripple. In the last 3 years, this guy's made $95 billion. Wow. Let's go to the next one. In cryptocurrency. Okay, then you got another guy, Joseph Lubin. He's worth $1 to $5 billion. He's a former guy from Goldman Sachs. I think he knows something about money, and he's on the platform of Ethereum. He's co-founded a company called Consensus. I actually went to one of the conventions for Consensus, and then they have he's a part owner of Ethereum. This guy, hold on, what is this guy? This guy is very young. He's 53 years old. Also, you have the owner of Binance, Changpeng Zhao, he's worth $1 billion to $2 billion within the last couple of years. Binance is a relatively new company. He's 41 years old. Cryptocurrencies. Okay, now look, we're going on and on and on. Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss. You know those guys who sued Facebook and said Facebook stole their idea? Well, guess what? These guys are billionaires now based on the cryptocurrency business. And they also have a company called, I think it's called, not Genesis. It's not Genesis. I forget the name of the company they own. But they also own Winklevoss Capital. These guys are 36 years old. Okay, you got Matthew Mellon. This guy's worth $900 million to $1 billion. This guy is an individual investor of Ripple, which is a cryptocurrency that the banks will be using to do transaction, and they're trying to actually replace the SWIFT code system. Then you also have, I can go on and on and on. Again, there's people that's not on this list. Brian Armstrong, this guy owns Coinbase, billionaire. Since 2012, thise guys didn't take 50 years to do it. You know, then you have Matthew Rosnick. This guy is worth $1 billion as well. I think he owns Tally Capital. And you also have Anthony DiOrio. This guy's worth $1 billion, co-founder of Ethereum. Jax, I've been on Jax Exchange. And Decentral, 43 years old. And that's the other thing that, Forbes realized that billionaires, there's only 1,400 billionaires in the world. That's it. Almost 1,500. That's not even 1/10 of 1% of the world's population. Something like 1,000th of 1% of the world's population. Okay. And cryptocurrency has done about 20 or 30 of them in the last 3 to 4 years. The fastest amount of billionaires in the shortest amount of time, and a more larger percentage of billionaires than any other industry in the world. I'm gonna say that again. They've made more millionaires in the fastest amount of time, the shortest amount of time, than any other industry in the world. Wow. I think we're on to something. I think these guys don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what they're watching. I don't know what they're looking at, but I just showed you a guy that made more money than Warren Buffett in the last 4 years, 4 years. Wow. It took him 50 years to get there. So this is a very, very amazing industry. You got Brock Pierce, who's estimated worth $700 to $1 billion. Block One, cryptocurrency company. Michael Novogratz, who came from actually hedge fund managing. And this guy is also rocking it right now in the cryptocurrency space. 53 years old, billionaire. I think he's worth a couple of $1 billion now. You got Brandon Bloomer, who's worth $700 million, 31 years old. These are young men. These are young men, okay? So this is what's going on, you guys. This is a very, very great industry to be in. And I think that you guys are getting the picture. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. And I want you guys to look at this. I want you guys to watch this, to examine the information that I'm talking about. And hey, check this out. Get in this cryptocurrency space and don't listen to the other people, and come into this with the intention to change your mindset. Okay? So with that, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. This is Eric Vine, Family Capturing. Peace.